Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in again. Over the next few minutes I'll be going over some of the settings that we have in Optuma so you can set it up to your own unique preferences. Now it is quite a complex piece of software, so there's lots of customizable settings that we have available, far too many to go through in this short video. So I would encourage you to go to our online knowledge base, which is help.optuma.com/kb. That will take you to this screen here, and then we can scroll down and you'll see the settings section there. Click on that and then we get a breakdown of all the various settings. But I will go through a few of them with you now, just so you get an idea of what we can do. So obviously the settings menu is at the top of the screen. If we click that, we got various options pop up there. So some of the important ones I'll briefly cover now are the autosave settings. So this is very useful when you're working. It will automatically keep a backup of your workbook. By default, I've got it set to every 5 minutes. It's going to take a snapshot of my open workbook and keep 5 copies of it. So I'm going to change that from 10, and I'm going to keep 6 versions. So that means if I'm working, it will keep the last hour worth of work with a snapshot every 10 minutes. And you can see the ones I've got there underneath. That particular workbook, I hadn't saved it, so it's unnamed. But if I wanted to go back to earlier today, I can click on that file and then restore selected workbook, and then it will be restored as of 7:53 this morning. Next one down is backup, and that is more of a general backup. It's not just your workbooks. This will be all your settings, all your tool defaults, all your scripting formulas, page layouts, things like that. So everything is backed up by default. It will be on your C drive, but I've changed my backup location there to Google Drive. So all my backups stored in the cloud. Should anything go wrong, I can easily restore. So I've changed my backup period to daily, and click the 3 little dots there to browse for a folder or a location where you can safely store your backups. Keyboard shortcuts, I briefly mentioned this in other videos, but basically for your favorite functions that you like to do on a regular basis, if you prefer to use keyboard shortcuts, you can. We've got several set up by default, such as Control-T for training mode, and I think Control-G for the grid lines on the back of the chart. But you can create your own. So you can search for certain items in that search box, but we've basically listed everything you can do in the program with the keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to scroll down to timeframes here, and I'm going to, so we've got Alt-D to change a chart to daily, Alt-W to weekly. So in monthly, I'm just going to do Alt-M. Now, if Alt-M was used by another keyboard shortcut, then you wouldn't be allowed to do it. So it would still say none. So if that's the case, then you'd have to find out what that shortcut's been used for and change that one. So now I'm going to apply that. I'm going to close this settings window. So I'm going to double click to bring up this window, and I'm going to do Microsoft. And actually another way to open up a chart automatically in a separate or in a different time frame is type the ticker symbol here, then comma, and then D for daily, W for weekly, M for monthly. So I'm going to do comma W and then hit enter, and that's automatically opened up a weekly chart of Microsoft. But now if I wanted to change it to monthly using my new keyboard shortcut of Alt-M, I just hit Alt-M on the keyboard, and there it is, monthly, and I can toggle Alt-W for daily, weekly, and then back to daily. it's exactly the same as using that drop down. So yeah, keyboard shortcuts can be very useful for quickly navigating and changing your charts. Okay, going back to the settings menu, we've covered backups. Some of these other settings we'll go through in detail when we get to those videos for that particular topic, such as layouts. I'm going to go down to colors. So by default, the software will open up in this white color theme, but if you prefer dark charts, we can go under the theme there and change it to dark. And now you can see all my charts have been changed to that color scheme, and we can right click and change. I'm going to change that strength to single color and make it white, so that chart is much more visible. A couple of other useful settings that you might be interested in: settings, workspace, visual. I'm going to change the price scale margin. What this is the gap between the top and the bottom of the screen. You can see on that chart in the background of Microsoft, the low back in September 2015 is right at the bottom of the chart, of the window, and the current high is right up against the top. So I like leaving a bit more space. So currently it's 1%. So as I increase that, you can see that there's more space at the top and bottom of the screen. So you can play with that, see what fits for your particular screen setup. Another one is scales font size, so we can move that up and down or type the value. And also we have main font size as well. So I'm going to use that slider, and you can see that the chart header in the top left there where it says Microsoft and then the exchange and the time frame, as I drag that to the right hand side, it gets bigger. So particularly useful if you're publishing a lot of charts or showing presentations or something like that. But I'm going to put mine back to the standard size. So again, lots of settings that you can change. So take a look through those menus and also visit the knowledge base, and that will help you get your copy set up exactly how you want it. Thanks very much.